let's go ahead and do the full expansion of x minus 4y to the fifth. Let's make that triangle again to get the binomial coefficients. Okay, fill in the next line for me. What is it? 1, 2, 1. Fill in the next line for me. 1, 3, 3, 1. The next one. 1, 4, 6, 4, 1. The next one. 1, 5, 10, 10, 5. Do I need another one? No. No, I know that this is the fifth row because the first number from left to right is a 5. So these are my binomial coefficients. No calculator needed. This is faster than using the calculator to figure out what those binomial coefficients are. In this case, because n is relatively small, n is 5. So let's write down the generic binomial expansion, a plus b to the fifth. What would a plus b to the fifth power be? Okay, you should know that the first coefficient is going to be 1 without even looking at this. So the first term is going to be a to the fifth. Plus, okay, use the next binomial coefficient from the triangle. 5 times, okay, what's a going to be to here? 4, it goes down by 1. And then b to the, b is going up. The exponent on the b is going up, the exponent on the a is going down. But oh, here's a good way to remember it. The exponent on the a and the b have to add to be 5. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay, so just 5a to the fourth b plus, what's the next binomial coefficient? 10, this guy. Okay, then it must be a to the third b. Got to be 2 for 3 and 2 to add to 5. That's a good way to think about it, right? You can't go wrong there. What's the next one going to be? 10, right? This 10 right here. A squared, b cubed. The next one? 5ab to the fourth. The next one? It better be b to the fifth. By the way, earlier I mentioned descending powers. Well, I was referring to the descending powers of a. The powers of b are ascending, right? So, well, that's actually kind of fun, I think. But now it gets a little nasty. What's a in this case? X. A is x. Looking at that guy right there. And what's b? 4y. Ooh. You got to include the negative because the binomial theorem is for a plus b, right? So that means the terms are going to alternate. When the exponent on the b is even, you'll get a positive term. When the exponent on the b is odd, you'll get a negative term. And that's something to keep in mind because then if you put a negative in the wrong place, you'll notice. So what the a to the fifth is really just going to be x to the fifth. X is a. So let me make some room here. So x to the fifth plus, okay, 5. A is x, so that's easy, right? X to the fourth. And then b is negative 4y. That's easy enough. We'll calculate that in the next step. Plus, give me the next one. So you're filling in 10a cubed b squared with the appropriate a and b. 10 x cubed.
Negative 4y squared.
Yeah, and if you feel like it, since it's easy enough, you could go 64y squared. Oh, I'm sorry, 16, excuse me. Said it's easy and then I messed it up. B squared would be positive 16y squared, right? So if you want to fill it in right away, if it's easy enough, go ahead. Then what would the next one be, this guy?
10x to the fourth.
10x squared, right? And then b is negative 4y cubed, which is going to be negative 64y cubed. And you could put that in right away if you wanted to. I'll do it in the next step, I guess. 5, the next one. 5 times x negative 4y to the fourth. Make sure you put it in the negative 4y. Make sure you put it in parentheses because that means the negative 4 is brought, that factor of negative 4 is brought to the fourth as well, and the negative is going to go away for that term. And then the last one, Negative 4y to the fifth, filling in this guy. Does everybody agree with that? Okay, let's calculate this. We get x to the fifth for the first term. What's the next one?
Minus 20.
20x to the fourth times y plus
160.
160
X cubed y
x cubed y squared.
squared. Minus 640 x squared y cubed.
Yeah, that's true because this guy is negative 64 y cubed, right? So that will put that the minus sticks around because of the odd exponent, so that'll make it minus. Okay, 64 times 10 is the 640 that you mentioned, and then x squared y cubed. I think it's a little harder. What's 4 to the fourth? Is that 256? But it'll be positive, right? Negative 4 to the fourth will be 256. So okay, just to save a little bit of time. So this is 256 y to the fourth times 5, which is 1280. So plus 1280 what? X y to the fourth. Okay, and then what about negative 4y to the fifth? Will the negative stick around? You bet. And then what's 4 to the fifth? 1024. Don't forget the y to the fifth. Well, that was fun. I think you should stay home on Friday night and do those. No? Okay, that's okay. I didn't do it either. Believe it or not, I wasn't as nerdy back then when I was your age. So there you go. There's a full expansion.